Welcome to Below the 49th, my perspective on my neighbor to the south, below the 49th. I'm Michael A. Charbon. Today's title, The Honey Trap. America's over 331 million people are fundamentally divided into two definitive political tribes. This is also reflected in the two streams of media consciousness. Imagine that. Where the network you digest your news from has a trained lens on what and how they report the day's news to you. In the infancy of television, it was the Huntley-Brinkley Report or Walter Cronkite. America trusted these broadcasters. The content across the networks, back then of course, really didn't change. The only variable was the host, and what the network lead was the night of the broadcast. It would be tragic if the network missed a story covered by the other guys, so they actually kept each other in check. Those pioneers honored the job of delivering the news and letting the public digest the facts and form their own opinion. In 1980, news went through a metamorphosis when Ted Turner launched CNN, a revolutionary concept of 24-hour news, live all day via satellite, from around the globe. Ted Turner fundamentally transformed news and knit the world closer together, covering the triumphs, the tragedies, wars, and nature's climate calamity. CNN's 24-hour live news elevated the importance of breaking news and the importance of the individual story, creating what we have today, cable news. But the resulting effect made it necessary to drill down further on every story, as the voracious public became dissatisfied with the 30-minute wheel of the same stories repeated again and again. What that effect did was mandate the generation of more content, or in plain terms, invent and create news. To create grist, to chew on so that you can retain your viewers and that valuable advertising dollars that comes with the viewer. The danger now is that we're witnessing the next metamorphosis of what was once called news, where the delivery of the actual content has now become tribal as well. Remember Sergeant Joe Friday from Dragnet? Friday's quote was, "All we want are the facts, ma'am." Today, in 2020, the news is nowhere near that quote. Now add on to the factor of big tech, Facebook, Google, where each platform competes to be your information delivery mechanism. They too take tribal sides on how they censor what you say, what you read, and what you can search. Today, opinionators create political commentary that looks like a butcher's trimming platter. It's filled with multiple meats all ground and pressed through a 24-hour live sausage grinder, coming out the other end with no recognizable semblance of news, but flavored chuck, adjusted, altered, colored, and filtered. Just right. Flavored to your taste, depending on the channel you're watching. So what they're doing, they're delivering nightly red meat to the hungry newsies who, unbeknownst to them, are now consuming less and less of hard news and more filler of opinionators' political prognostications. It's basically an unfortunate departure from what the original cable news concept was. But the reality is, it's no longer breaking news. What it really is that the news is broken, guys. It begs the question, though, like what? Well, remember Russia? Remember all the accusations and innuendos and flurry of idiots talking about, incessantly about how America was compromised and it was all a Russian collusion effort? Yeah, big tech was greedy. They took the financial bait and posted paid comments and stories, which we learned later were wrong. But the reality was, there was no organized Russian collusion in the election, and after 3 years, in the end, nothing. No charges, no pictures of urinating harlots holding politicians to ransom. Right. Here's another example. How is it that the Hunter Biden story was not covered by any mainstream media? Zero? Nada? No network covered that before the election, except Fox, of course. That laptop with the emails and pictures and corroborating messages between Chinese operatives, alleged millions of dollars of introductions, alleged, of course. We hear today that the FBI has been investigating Hunter Biden and his laptop since 2018. Really? And now after the election, people have stated, well, I never heard of that, and if I did, it may have affected how I voted. 11% of the people said that. Duh, exactly. How is it that no other network other than Fox spoke to Tony Bobulinski? No, that's not a really good deli in New York. Tony Bobulinski. Who? Exactly. An interview on Tucker Carlson, which drew over 7 million viewers, where Bobulinski, an honorable former military man with a strong military service in his family and a background, went on camera on camera and directly making allegations that contravene statements made by the big guy as the alleged financial arrangements came up. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Look it up. See, before the election, any and all reports on Hunter were suppressed because mainstream news and cable news never touched the story because it was flushed like the blue wave that sanitizes your toilet bowl. Oh, it was all the Russians. Remember, it's all the Russians. Well, that little kernel is not conspiracy or spin. It's a laptop with incriminating emails. And sadly, think about this, in months to come, may signal the embarrassing end of another U.S. presidential administration due to a scandal and a cover-up, Richard Nixon. Oh, but listen, Democrats aren't worried. No. Kamala will be waving at the helicopter on the White House lawn to save the day. Oh, my goodness. Now, there's an unsubstantiated conspiracy theory. What? So here's one more. As of December, did you see a second autonomous zone has emerged in Portland? Yeah. Police were threatened, armed vigilantes, there was violence erupting, barricades put up. Funny, on mainstream media broadcast, no. That's not a positive Democratic story, particularly with the change of office, and particularly from Black Lives Matter embedded Portland. The freshest example of disparity in reporting is captured in a World War II phrase. It was coined by the British MI6 spy who perfected the art of the honey trap. Or more current term would be sexpionage. Anything ring a bell yet? Well, if you watch mainstream media, you haven't heard much about this because it's about a California Bay Area Democratic congressman who was a member of the Intel Committee. That's right, the Intel Committee. The congressman was alerted by the FBI that his Chinese girlfriend, Fang, was a spy. And her naughty and tempting ways extended to several Midwest mayors as well. Busy girl. You can't make this stuff up. Fang is the same woman who was a financial bundler for the California Democrat to get him elected. No, really? And after the FBI told the congressman that Fang's boom boom was sexpionage, well, Fang disappeared. Poof, never be seen again. Nothing here, folks. Nothing. This story, like the others, is avoided. It's not covered, and in reality, it's covered up because it doesn't suit an optic or narrative of the Democratic media cabal. News is not supposed to be vetted through a political lens. That's where America is slowly slipping away from freedom and freedom of speech. Please click, like, and share, and kindly subscribe. Those actions are really greatly appreciated, and they're important to Below the 49th. If you leave a comment, good or bad, I try to answer each and every one of you because I appreciate your thoughts. I thank you for those considerations, and until next time, God bless and stay safe. I'm Michael A. Charbon for Below the 49th.